What is up, Inner Dialogue fam? Today is Monday, May 8th. It's 7:45 p.m. and I'm in my closet. Welcome to the Inner Dialogue podcast. I am me, ABSD, Alyssa Deloach, hosting this podcast from inside my closet in my apartment in Colorado. And I just got off the coolest call. I gotta say, part of it, I was feeling a little bit bored and antsy. I just have a lot going on in my mind right now. And trying to sit through that training where I heard a lot of that. There was some definitely different stuff, but I heard a lot of that in a training that I went to last month. And I was just kind of checked out until the end with questions. And I had a few questions that I wanted to ask, which is fine. I was there and I took away a lot of good information too. I'm such an experiential learning person. Like, I love learning by doing. That's how I learn. I don't learn inside of a classroom. Not well, at least. They call it street smart. Oh, I'm so fabulous. Okay, if you can't tell, I'm high as fuck right now. And I took like one hit. So here's the thing about this call. Oh, fuck. This is why I wanted to talk about it. I was tuned out, right? And then, so I was like, my camera's off. I'm not normally one of those Zoom people, but it's 6 fucking p.m. I'm turning my camera off. I'm in the middle of cooking dinner. I had a busy day and I get to have my camera off if I want. So question and answer came up and I wanted to ask a question. And so I turned my camera on for the question. Forgetting, well, I didn't forget. Knowing, that's a better word. Knowing that I had just taken this hit of this joint, thinking that I was going to have my camera off for the rest of the Zoom call. Okay. So I asked my first question, and then, like before that, I was like taking deep breaths and stuff while my camera was still off, trying to like bring myself down a little bit to be like, okay, Alyssa, like you got this. You got this. You got this. And I think I did a good job at asking my first question. But then I had to keep like my camera on for the rest of the time. Well, I didn't have to, but I chose to. And I stayed on to ask a couple more questions that were specific to me. But I get off of the Zoom call and I go and I look at my partner who got just paged for work. Blah. 7 p.m. But it's the only page that he's gotten so far. No, I think he got one other one. And it's not in the middle of the night. That is a blessing. That is a blessing. I was telling a story. Oh, and Nick goes, wow, you look so high. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, luckily, the person I was talking to has never seen me before, so it doesn't matter what I look like. That's not what I said, but I'm like, damn, I know. Isn't it amazing? Life. Life is amazing. I have so much I could be doing right now, and after getting off of that call, I'm like, I want a podcast. I'm going to go podcast. And I've gotten my set down pretty good because I can't leave a chair in here all the time. You can't get to half the clothes. And obviously the trash can can't live in here either. Obviously. Neither can I. But I thought I would be more claustrophobic in here, but I'm really not. I think it's because it has tall ceilings and like different levels. I don't know. It's kind of cozy. And it's just me and my podcast. What am I saying? Me and my podcast. Thank you, Gabby, for that. Damn. So my day to day. So my week. So my last 5 days. Oh my goodness. On Wednesday, I want to talk about just how the universe gives us nudges for a second, okay? And trusting the nudges is hard. It's hard. But we're given nudges for a reason, and to explore the nudge is important. Here's my story. On Wednesday last week, I got a nudge on TikTok where it was talking about a grant offered in Colorado for first time home buyers, like assistance, mortgage assistance. I don't fully understand it yet. I'm learning. It's more of like my partner's deal. He does the initial research because I don't like to do that. And he's like, yeah, it looks like it could actually be something that we do. And that door opened. You could potentially buy a house. And we've been following that nudge ever since last Wednesday. Well, essentially Thursday when he watched the video and started researching it. And then Friday, we talked about it some more. And then Friday night, we talked about it some more. And then I got on Zillow and requested some house appointments to go see some places. I'm like, okay, if we're going to do this, let's go tour some places and see what they look like on the inside and see what it feels like in different neighborhoods. And let's start looking. And we met this really great real estate agent. She's so sweet. And I literally said it to her. I'm like, you have felt like a breath of fresh air in this process. Because we've only been going through the process for like 40 hours. Not even. This is the start of our process. But the universe keeps nudging me. And I have felt very unsafe in this process. And I was walking today and I was processing on my walk. And because the best thing in the world is I walk a 1-year-old baby around their block for an hour 4 afternoons a week. It used to be just one, but now I'm doing, like, since I got back from Florida, it's been like 3 to 4 times a week right now. It's been wonderful. I love walking and processing, which leads me down the tangent of wanting to talk about walking and processing with my friend today, but I will get there. I'm going to try to stay on one track. So buying a house. Holy shit. So a little backstory on me. I tried to buy a house when I was calculating how old I was. This isn't helping. 2020. Yes, it was 2020. So I would have been 24. And I had a friend who had bought a house, and it really made me want to buy a house as well. I wanted a space of my own. And so I was serious about it. And this was just around the time where I was moving up to St. Pete, or thinking about moving to St. Pete, wanting to buy a house there. No, I had definitely already been thinking about moving there, or was committed to moving there, I should say, because I had taken a job and we found this house that looked like it had good potential, and I was terrified through the whole thing. And it ended up didn't work out. We had an inspector come out and he essentially told us that he would not buy this house, and that there were a lot of things that I would have to fix once I got into it, and it just didn't seem worth it. And so I backed out of the contract. I lost lots of money in the process because of paying for inspections and different paperwork, and it felt like a lot of money at the time. I don't remember how much it was. And then me and my sister went and rented a home together that I lived in for 2 years. And that was the best case scenario. I was not meant to buy that house in St. Pete, but I've realized that there's been a lot of pieces of that home buying experience that I have brought into this experience with me now. And a lot of that is just fear. Like, it's straight fear and insecurity and overflow of the idea that the money is not going to work out. But like, the money is going to work out because the how is not my responsibility. The universe gave me this nudge and said, here's the resource. And we decided to take the resource. And so the universe and God and angels are going to help me because the how is not my responsibility. Yeah. Fuck yeah. So I was processing on my walk with Emma today. And oh fuck. What was I gonna say? Oh, I gave myself permission to surrender and to just like give it to God, angels, and the universe. I'm like, I don't want it. I don't want the fear. I don't want the fear of the money not working out. I don't want any of that. I don't want it. And I surrendered and I processed it and I just like surrendered. And I said, I want to be excited during this process. The home buying experience does not have to be hard. It can be exciting. It can feel good. It can give you everything you want. I gave myself that permission. And then not that long later, we got an email from our lending partner sending us our pre-approvals. And first of all, a lot of it doesn't make sense because it's not supposed to make sense because we have people who are going to explain it to us. But when you get an email like that has a lot of numbers and you start doing the math like long term and you're like, wow, we're going to spend a lot more money than this house is worth, which we probably won't because we'll probably sell it in a few years. Sell it or rent it. I don't know. Who knows what we'll do. But how is that my responsibility? The how is that my responsibility? And I surrendered it. Did you know that's my word for this year, 2023, is surrender? And I fucking practiced surrendering today. That was awesome. I've been like in such a funk today. The last couple of days, really, since this home buying thing. And I gave myself permission to look at my limiting beliefs. And I just fucking did that with you guys. I looked at my limiting belief of the experience that I had before does not have to be my experience now. Just because it was a bad experience before does not mean that it needs to be a bad experience now. And now I know more of what I want. When I was trying to buy a house in St. Pete, it was just like, oh, this house is available. Let's go and see it. And like, I got a call at Disney World and drove that night because the house was not going to be on the market for that long. And we sat there and I essentially said that night, yeah, I'm going to buy this house. And the paperwork was drawn up. It was fast. Super fast. Because think of the time, it was 2020. Houses were fucking flying off the market. Yeah. I feel so much less overwhelmed. I just have a lot going on this week and a lot more than I normally do, right? Like I'm still working my job. I'm babysitting and nannying. But my independent contractor position that I'm in, my hours essentially got stacked by accident because there wasn't enough for me to do last week. And so those hours carried over into next week, which I am definitely going to have to tell Brandon that if I don't get them all done this week until Friday, then they're just going to roll over into the next week. And that's okay. It's all going to work itself out. I figure if I work 2 hours tomorrow night, 2 hours Wednesday night, and 3 hours on Thursday, that I can get it all done. So I do believe that I can do it. Because I do. I will get it all done. But And then just timing wise, today I was supposed to have way more time than I did, which is okay. But I had to make priorities. I had to prioritize things today, and that priority was not working. And that's a beautiful thing that I have the option to do, especially when I'm not working for a family and I would have to cancel on them. If I needed to, though, I would, because my life also takes priority in my life. I had a friend reach out to me this morning and ask if I would go on a mental health walk with them, circling it back to something I was talking about way earlier in this podcast. And I guess I've only been recording for 15 minutes. Wow, hot damn. Feels like it's been longer that we've been together. How many different topics does Alyssa talk about in one podcast episode? That would be a fun game too. Yeah, so my friend asked if I would go on a mental health walk and that they were having a hard day. I'm like, of course. And we met up essentially as immediately as we could have. And we went on this really cool walk in the National Refuge. Refuge? Refuge. Is that what the animal one is called? I need Nick here to correct me. Yeah, you'll learn this thing about me where I don't always say the right word, but I'm trying to get better about it and learn the difference so that I can be more well spoken. Because I sometimes say the wrong word and then it doesn't pass the way that I am intending it to pass. So we went on this really cool walk, and it's this huge green square in right outside of Denver City in the metro area in Commerce City. And it's just huge green patch in the middle of the city. And they're literal bison that live on there. It's like a national wildlife refuge. Questionable. There's that word again. So we saw some bison today. I saw lots of different birds. I know that you can see deer on that property. We did not see any deer today, but we made it to a lake even, and we got to walk around this lake, and there were people fishing and lots of ducks and lots of geese. And yeah, it was really, really cool. It was awesome. And it's huge. And you could endlessly explore there, which I love. And it's just a beautiful view of the mountains. It's a really, really great space. So me and my friend had a really great walk there. We walked for an hour. I think her watch total said 2.87 miles. I don't have a way to track my walks anymore, so I don't know how far I'm walking. But she had a watch that did. And afterwards, we went and got some tacos and queso and just got to be in company in a safe place and get outside. We got outside today. I cannot continue to say, because I've never said this before, how important being outside is for your soul. I think it helps with a lot of other reasons as well, but being outside in nature is so important. We as human beings are meant to be connected to nature. We are meant to have experiences where we spend it outside and we appreciate what is on this earth with us. Y'all, the things that are on this planet are just fucking miracles. The fact that it all works, the fact that we sit where we sit in the fucking solar system, the fact that this universe is vast and greater than any of our wildest imaginations. And we have a chance to make it better each and every day. I encourage you to start with your own world. Stop trying to solve the entire world and focus on yourself. If every single person focused on bettering themselves, our world would run as a much more sustainable and better place. Because once you can prioritize yourself, then you can help others. You have extra water in your water bottle after a hike. The saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. Yeah, no shit. There's nothing to pour. And if your cup is only half full and then you pour it and give it to somebody else, then your cup is empty. No. Your cup needs to be full. Because when your cup is full, then you can share half your water with someone else, and then you both have half the water. Sometimes you have to give your friend some water. And you have to say, it's okay that my cup's not full right now. Because I'm going to go and I'm going to fill it up myself later. But my cup needed some water because my friend's cup needed some water because their fucking cup was empty. We need to be there for the people we love. And we need to love loudly. Love loudly. Do not be afraid to show people that you love them. Do not be afraid to say, I love you to people. Do not be afraid to be vulnerable with the humans that you trust and the humans that you love. It is bullshit that we walk around in this world and the people that we love most we're afraid to be honest with. That is bullshit. I lied for so long in my life, and I was good at it. I was really good at it. I said that to someone recently, and they essentially doubted it because they didn't believe that I lied as much as I thought I did. But I am the only me, and I am the only one inside my own head, and I got really good at lying. And at this point, I can't go back and pinpoint a lot of it because my lies became my reality in a lot of ways. And I just was good at keeping a lie. Oftentimes when people lie, they find themselves, like they'll say one thing to one person and then lie and say something different to someone else. If I lied to one person, I lied that same lie to everyone. It didn't matter. I do not lie any longer in my life. I catch myself sometimes, but I catch it. And I'm like, why am I lying about this? I do know the answer to that. Or why do I feel like I need to lie in this moment? And then I reflect on it, and I just try to do better the next time. It's all a fucking process. Like, it is a daily journey, a daily practice. Like, you don't wake up one day and say, I have all of my mindset shit worked out. No, that's not how it works. It is a daily thing that you do. And it looks different for everyone. And I encourage you to go look up some mindset resources. And I will drop some in this caption so you guys can go and listen to some of my favorite mindset experts. And I know that I'm still at the very beginning of this journey. And that is why I'm excited to share my inner dialogue. Because the beginning of this journey for someone is beautiful. Granted, it is so fucking hard. But again, life makes sense looking backwards. And I can even look at, so I probably would technically say I started my mindset journey in July of 2022. Okay. The beginning of July. It was July 4th. I started on the 5th. I actually bought it on my birthday, the travel agency certification program, which is interesting because my birthday is 23 and 23 is my lucky number and it's a sign and, you know, the universe nudges us. But I have been before that, I was in therapy with 4 to 5 different therapists throughout my life. And then I hit my mindset journey and was like, click. I need to learn more about this. Mindset has changed my world. Before I started my mindset journey, I couldn't stand to be in the room with myself. Truly. I was one of the most self-hating people on the inside. But again, I got good at lying. And so I lied to myself even. And finally, y'all, it was honestly getting married. And once our wedding was over, I literally say my brain turned back on. A light switched. And this was the very end of January 2022. And from then on out, throughout 2022 and up until this moment in 2023, my world has slowly begun to change. And what are we? 15 months? 16 months? I have created a toddler at this point. My dream is a toddler. And it's growing slowly every day. And I get to watch it grow new tricks and find new interests and take steps. Y'all, the process of what it takes to raise a child, the time, the energy, the effort you should take to raise yourself. That one was really good, wasn't it? Rewind this 30 seconds and go listen to that piece again. You have to give as much time to your own self as you would give a toddler. Because you are redeveloping as a human being. The person that you've always been, but maybe never been able to attach to. That's the thing I'm realizing. I've always been this version. No, okay. I've always been Alyssa. I've never been this version of Alyssa. And this is Alyssa in all of her authenticity and self and joy for her life and body and being. Like, I have taught myself the importance of loving myself through mindset, through Brandon Foster. He was my guide through that journey. And it's so fucking cool because now I work for him. And I'm like so thrilled to see where this position will take me and the doors and the avenues and the windows and the people that I'm going to meet. It's going to open so many things for me and a beautiful relationship that I get to grow with an incredible human being who is just here to help change the world. And he's going to, and he does every day in so many people's worlds. Because again, we have to prioritize ourselves. And I think a lot of this work, I am very privileged to do at the age that I'm doing it at. I'm 26. I'm still newly married. I've almost hit a year of hair growth after shaving my head on Memorial Day of 2022. I moved across the country 2,400 miles with very little belongings, but our 2 cars and our dog. I started a career as an entrepreneur and closed that same door. I've allowed myself to be in the season of life that I'm in and just enjoy it. I get to spend time with three amazing kids, all at different ages and stages and walks of life. And I get to just be with them and hang out with them. And it's amazing. And experience what it's like to be inside of three new people's homes. I started working for that same mindset expert, and I can confidently say that I love myself. I love myself so much, and I'm so proud of the human being that is sitting here in this chair today. Alyssa, I am so proud of you, and I love you so much. You are such a light and joy in this world, and you're going to change it. You're going to heal the world. And it starts with you, and it grows to others. And then we get to be in the fucking White House, and it's going to be amazing. Because we're going to change the world. And we're going to do it with the most amazing group of humans that have ever existed on this planet. Because it's going to take every single human to heal this planet. Grows little by little. The last year of my life has been fucking awesome. I look back and I'm just so grateful and appreciative. And I know that it's just the beginning and it gets to get better and better. And the how is not my fucking responsibility. I just get to have big dreams. And you know, sometimes those dreams will manifest in different forms and fashions. But I know that the action that I take is leading me to exactly where I need to be. Exactly where I am meant to be. Even if it's not my plan. The plan that happens is far greater than anything that I could ever imagine of where it will lead me to be. Alyssa, I love you so much. You are a light in this world. Whoa. I think that's an awesome way to end it tonight. This has been quite the episode of the Inner Dialogue podcast. I love you all. And I'm just so excited to share this space with you. It feels so good. And it feels good to be me and share me and to love loudly. Let your light shine. I love you so much. Bye.